I can hit, but I got more than power. I'm like one of the most underrated fighters in the whole of boxing. And I have something in me that's just something that you're born with.
I do have a violent streak. I can't fix anything, but I like destroying everything. I could be losing 11 rounds and still knock you out in the 12th round with one shot. I can knock anyone out at any given day.
Dillian Whyte, Lucas Browne, welcome to The Gloves Are Off. Let's start at the beginning.
Thank you.
Dillian, tell us why we're here.
We hit to a fight, that's why.
Why's this fight come about?
Because he's looking for a way back in. I'm looking for a way to step up my level and prove that I'm world title. I'm ready to challenge for a world title. So it's perfect time for both of us.
How do you think it's happened?
Just makes sense. For a while now, it's been like backwards and forwards on more so Twitter, I suppose.
Was that to pump the fight up, or?
No, I think it was way before we actually thought we were going to fight ever. I think I personally just didn't like the way he was conducting himself. I had an opinion on that, and I think it basically just started from there. You know, so it was nothing in particular. I had a view on things, and then once we actually knew that a potential fight could be on, that's when it sort of really ramped up and really got sort of serious about it. Yeah.
So you never actually thought the fight would come about? It's just that you just didn't like what he was doing?
No idea. Oh yeah, no. At that point, yeah, I just didn't like what he was doing. I wasn't trying to get a fight, so to speak. No.
Dylan, is this fight, is it a risk for you because you're in touching distance of fight for a world title, and you decide to step in with such a dangerous, unbeaten heavyweight?
Every fight is a risk for me, Johnny. We are the heavyweight. Every fight's a risk for me, but that's what I'm in the game for. I'm not in the game to have easy fights. There's many fights in my career that I didn't have to have. I could have sidestepped them and had easier fights and built my record like many other guys has done. Many other guys have just kept on fighting nobody till they get a title shot. I could have done that, but I choose not to. I choose to fight everyone. I'm in the game to fight people and to give back to the fans who's always support me through the ups and downs. You know, so that's it. And, you know, I could have gone and fight a journeyman and just say, wait, because I'm going to get a title shot sooner rather than later anyway. I could have fight a journeyman, wait, fight another journeyman, wait. But what's the point in doing that? You don't learn anything, you don't test yourself. You spend 8 weeks training what for to go and blow someone away in a round. You learn nothing from it. Pop up from what you already know. I can punch and I can knock someone out.
Have you not got much more to lose than Lucas Browne?
Of course. He ain't got anything to lose. Of course I got much more to lose, but that's what makes it a good fight. You know what I mean? There's levels to everything, and you can't just say you're at that level until you step up to the level and prove that you're at that level. You know what I mean? I've done all the right things to get to the level. Now it's just the final piece of the puzzle now.
Is this a mistake for him?
I think so. Yeah.
Why?
Just because I can knock people out. Like I've got the power to knock anyone out. Like regardless of if you want to talk about boxing skill or anything like that. I know for a fact I'm not the most skilled boxer on the planet. There's guaranteed no problems with that. But I can knock anyone out at any given day, you know what I mean? So I could be losing 11 rounds and still knock you out in the 12th round with one shot. So basically, you give me 12 rounds, 45 or whatever minutes, to land one shot. All I have to do is buzz you for 10 seconds, for the ref to count up to 10, and it's over. So you give me 45 minutes to hit you once. That's it.
Is that all you're depending on here? Because you're saying you're not the...
Well, when you break it down to the nuts and bolts of it, that's what it is. Obviously, there's a lot more to boxing. There's not getting hit is another major part of boxing. But I think from my point of view, in regards to power and fighting anyone else, that's definitely something that, if you want to break it down to the nitty-gritty, that's what it is, yeah.
Dylan, do you respect his power?
Listen, anyone that knocked 22 people out of 25, it could be 22 bombs, means you got power. But as heavyweights, we all have power. We all can hit. I can hit, but I got more than power. I'm not the best fighter in the world. I'm not the strongest or the biggest fighter, but I have everything to make me a good fighter, and that's what I am. That's it. I can punch, I can box, I can move. I got good work rate. I'm fit. I'm young. I'm sharp, and I have something in me that's it's just something that you're born with.
Do you think he underrates your power?
100% he does. 100% he does. I'm like one of the most underrated fighters in the whole of boxing. I know that, but it's fine. I like that.
Looking at his record, looking at the level of people that he's knocked out, I think it's 22 knockouts out of 25 fights, yeah?
That's right, yeah.
What do you think of the level?
He haven't really knocked no one out at no high level, you know. The knockout at the high level is questionable. There's things that we can all talk about and say this and that, but, you know, who was the knockout at a high level, really?
I'll agree with that, right? I'll honestly agree with that. But look, take Shigeev. Shigeev has only ever lost to Klitschko and to Povetkin. I was the only one that ever knocked him out. You know what I mean? So that shows power.
Yeah,
but if you want to talk about
okay, let's
where
break
the power
this
comes
down.
from.
Shigeev was old, out of shape, he's gone down off the hill, and then there was other circumstances regarding that fight as well. You know what I mean? That's why you're not the WBA champion of the world. So...
Former. So I'm still the former.
No. Yeah, no.
Look it up anywhere you go that it says former WBA heavyweight champ.
Are you...
No.
Are you alluding to the failed drug tests?
Yes, of course. You know, of course.
He thinks that because I was spiked with Klimburov with one...
You wasn't spiked with Klimburov.
Well, I've been cleared.
You wasn't spiked with Klimburov. No, you wasn't clean because you failed another drug test 6 months later.
No, I was cleared for the first one.
No. So,
I was cleared for the first one.
You
Was I
failed
not?
one 6 months later.
Was I not cleared for the first one?
Mate, listen.
The second one was a pre-workout that I stupidly bought from the shop.
No.
And that's all my fault.
Listen, we are a growing man
But I
in
was
here.
cleared
We are a
for the
growing
first
man
one.
in here. There's no way you're under litigation for a failed drug test and you go and buy a pre-workout without doing the proper research while you're still under
No, that's
litigation for a
my
drug
stupidity.
test.
That was my stupidity, 100%.
At the end of the days, yeah, I got done for a pre-workout, which is literally...
The same as what I got done
No,
for.
it's not the same. No, it's not. It's not Clenbuterol. I got done for geranium root. What the hell is geranium root? What is that?
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Something on the ban's list.
Drugs?
Yeah, but you got done for clenbuterol and ostarine, or whatever.
I got cleared for Klimburov.
No, you didn't get
But
cleared for clenbuterol.
we're forgetting the point here, boys. Drugs don't make you a better fighter. Drugs don't make you a skill.
It doesn't make you. It actually does make you a better fighter.
Klimburol itself would actually make it worse because it gives you the shakes and it makes your heart go faster.
This is a man that he knows what he was doing. He know about clenbuterol and he still took it.
I have
Well,
researched it
he's a
since.
walking pharmacist. He knows what he's talking about.
Then I'd probably disagree with that because I boxed 3 drug cheats and beat them. So
Yeah.
it don't make you a better fighter, you know. And so that.
I understand that.
But let's get down to the fight itself.
Yep.
What do you see in Dillian that you think is so achievable for you to stop this man? Because you've said you don't expect it to go the distance. What's his weakness?
I think he gets too emotionally involved, much like a Wilder. When Wilder gets a little bit too emotional, he starts with all the windmills. You don't do the windmills, but that's what Wilder does. I think you get a little bit too emotionally involved, and I'm as calm as day. That's just I'm cool as. So
Listen,
Is that a fair point?
I'm a young street kid. I've had to look after myself since I was a child. So emotion is necessary to survive in the jungle. At one stage of my career, emotions was very high. They run high because that's what I knew. You know, I never had a lot of experience. That's what I knew. I knew how to fight. My emotions drove me. But as I got older, everyone can see I'm more chilled out, I'm more relaxed. I do what I need to do to win.
But what I've seen in your fights, I find when there's an emotional connection, an emotional clash with opponents, they're the best performances.
Yeah. Listen, I'm kind of got rise to challenges, you know what I mean? I love rising to challenge. I love when people tell me I can't. Are they going to do this to me? Are they going to do that to me? I love proving people wrong.
What's happened to you in your life for you to be so hungry, so aggressive?
I was written off from I was a teenager. I'm not meant to be alive now. I'm meant to be in prison or dead. Keep proving people wrong, but I turned it around, made it positive, and that's why I'm here, and that's what drives me every day. So for me, this is nothing to me. This is just another fight. Another big guy. I fought many big guys that I came before on the street. Fight big guys that I came in the ring before. It's nothing that I ain't seen before. I fight many bullies before. It's just another fight. Another fight with rules, that's all.
Lucas, can you relate to his path? Was yours similar?
No, I'm just Australian, probably middle class. Both parents, loving families, all that sort of stuff. So not in that regards, no. Somewhat in regards to the fact that, like, growing up, I was the only white kid in my actual primary school. So I grew up with a lot of Lebanese and Pacific Islander, mates, friends, all that sort of stuff. So I was always the odd one out. You know what I mean? So if you're going to pick on someone, you pick on the little white boy, you know what I mean? But in regards to everything you said, no, nothing whatsoever like that, no.
Well, you're a bit of a rebel. I see tattoos all over you. Why boxing?
I've got a violent streak. Like I'm going to be straight out with you. I do have a violent streak. I can't fix anything, but I like destroying everything. I've always, since I was little, I've always wanted to destroy things. So I lived near a creek where I actually grew up, and I'd often go down with the golf clubs and just try and chop a tree down or something like that. It's just I had to break something. With the boxing side of things, like I started with MMA first. So I thought to myself, I'd rather give it all a go and look back and think I gave it a go rather than what if. So I jumped straight in the cage. I had no training of any sort, all that sort of thing. So I had a cage fight. 2 weeks later, I had a kickboxing fight. And a week later, I had a boxing fight. And that was my introduction.
At what age?
30. So that's when I started. And then I started actually training after that. I did cage fighting for 2 years. I fought Daniel Cormier, the UFC light heavyweight champion, and got demolished because I'm not a wrestler, and he's a pure wrestler. And I think that was the fight that really sort of cemented it for me that boxing was the path rather than MMA. So from 33 onwards was just like full boxing.
Does it gripe you to have to give this man some respect for that story he's telling you about his life?
It doesn't gripe me. I respect everyone. It's only when you step in my path and try to disrespect me, or try to stop me from getting to where I want to get to, then you become a problem. You said you was going to punch me in the face if I got in your face and this, that, and the other. You're in my town. If you punch me in the face outside the ring, the biggest mistake you ever make.
You said initially that he just didn't like some of the things you were doing, some of the things you were saying. So he was kind of he was on your back from even before you thought you two would ever fight. Did that bother you at all?
No. This is what happened. He won the WBA title. I said, congratulations, winning the title, blah, blah. I'd like to be considered as one of his next challenges. And then he came back, F you a big mouth, D-head, you're this, you're that, do it the hard way as I do. And I'm like, well, you should be happy. A young, clean fighter like me, undefeated, want to step in and fight you as a champion. Why are you speaking in this manner and behaving in this manner and acting so angry and so aggressive? Why? I just want to fight. And then that's when it starts, and I thought to myself, I don't respect this man.
Why?
It was because he was trying to talk his way into a fight.
I'm not trying to talk into a fight, I'm trying to get a fight. There's a big difference. I'm not trying to, I was ranked. I wasn't ranked as high as you because you were a champion, of course, but I was ranked. And I was undefeated, and I'm a heavyweight, and I want to fight you. You do the same thing to Joseph Parker when he tried to fight you. You keep avoiding fights and keep saying this and you keep saying that. Like, as a fighter, you should fight. As fighters, we hold the public a duty to fight each other. And this is the problem with division. No one wants to fight. Everyone keeps hiding and everyone keeps making excuses. I'm sick of it.
I got a manager, a promoter, all this sort of stuff that have also got their own decisions.
Excuses, though. You keep making excuses. We made you an offer. You said, I didn't know. My promoter made the offer. My promoter accepted it. How can the promoter accept an offer without you knowing?
Lucas, it sounds like you're making excuses or justifying fights that didn't come off, that haven't been made in the past on your team.
I want to fight. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. I'm getting old. I'm 38 years old now, and I've had 3 fights in 3 years. Obviously, it was due to issues and stuff like that. But the fact is, when I first started, I had like 5, 6 fights in 1 year. I had things like that. Like, if you include the MMA and stuff like that as well, I think 1 year I had 9 fights. Like, I just want to be active. I just want to get it over and done with, make some money, get out and retire. Retire happy without, still being able to hold a conversation and all that sort of stuff.
So you didn't mind your team turning down certain fights or ignoring certain fights because it all fell back on your lap?
It always does. It always will be.
Exactly. Yeah. You're the one that's responsible at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Your team can't do stuff unless you finalise it. So stop blaming people and just get it done.
So there's a difference here, Dylan. He's thinking tactically, business. You're thinking emotionally because you want to fight everybody.
I'm not thinking emotionally. I think businessly and tactically as well. Like, to make money, you have to fight. You can't keep turning fights down. Guys like me and you, we had to go on the road because we never had promoters. Promoters turned their back on us early, you know, you understand? Like, you had to go to Germany and spar and build it. I had to do the same thing. When I lost, I had to come back. I had to build up again. There's times when I had to pay for fights myself. There's times when I'm fighting at 10 and 8:30 I'm outside the venue selling tickets to pay the opponent. That's the difference between me and him. That's the difference.
So credit to your boys. The fight's been made. He is coming into your patch, your manor, to fight you. What is he to expect?
Just to suit me, just to come out and try and knock him out, because I will try and knock him out. I will be trying to knock Lucas Browne out. You know, but boxing's a funny thing. About, 18 months ago, I was trying to chase him for a fight and he said no.
The thing is, he's taking the fight now.
Yeah.
It shows he's not scared of you. It shows that he sees a way of beating you.
That's what makes it a great fight. You know, that's what makes it a great fight. He believes he can beat me, I believe I can beat him. The great thing about boxing is it's only a matter of time.
Lucas, how do you beat him?
How?
You say you're waiting for that one punch?
He says he'll knock me out. He said I'll be on the floor. That's it.
I don't like judges' decisions. Why should I put my life, boxing, whatever, in someone else's hands? You know what I mean? So the crowd loves to see a knockout anyway, regardless of anything else. And that's most of the reason why people go watch heavyweight division, because they like to see the big boys go in and have a bang. So I think that's definitely something that's going to happen with our fight. There's some sort of animosity backwards and forwards, like, and it's genuine. It's not, there's nothing made up for cameras and all this sort of stuff. I think, as he said, he's going to come forward and try and knock me out. I'm going to come forward and try and knock him out. So I think Eddie Hearn sort of said it perfectly, where it's just going to be violent, and it's good. That's what the heavyweight division needs. It just needs no bullshit. Just come in and fight.
You do understand. The only person that's knocked him out was Anthony Joshua, and he himself says, he wasn't well prepared for that. So what makes you think you can do what all the other opponents have managed to do?
Just what I do. I'm good at it, and that's what I do. I just got confidence in myself, that's it.
There's 3 people in your record that he didn't stop.
That's correct, yep. The first one was Clarence Tillman. I was very fresh. He had the shoulder roll thing, and I didn't know how to throw my right hand properly. I actually hurt my thumb throwing a hook, so I basically jabbed him for 12 rounds. I won every round for 12 rounds. James Toney was the next one, very crafty.
James Toney was about 1,000 years old. All he had to do, James Toney,
Dude was crafty,
his knees couldn't stand up.
Dude was crafty, he's got a good chin. I broke his jaw.
His knees couldn't stand up.
Anyway, I got to the 10th round of that.
He broke an old man's jaw and you couldn't finish him.
Should I step on him? Or, I was winning all the rounds, so should I step on him? No, I took it back and just cruised through the 11th and 12th and won it on decision. The third one was Rudenko.
How much did he weigh for the Rudenko fight?
125.
How much are you looking to come in for our fight?
No idea. As long as I'm fit, it's all that matters.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to eliminate. Trying to eliminate the excuses from now. That's all. I'm just trying to make sure there's no excuses.
I'll probably come in heavier for your fight. For the Shigeru fight, I was 114 kilos, but at the moment I'm 126 sitting here right now.
Okay.
So I'm heavy now. I'm fit, but I'm heavy.
No, that's good. That's good. That's good. I'm just trying to get rid of the excuses from now. That's all. Cool. Because you have a track record for making excuses. That's all. I'm just trying to.
You got a track record of being a big mouth, but that's not what I'm here for.
You got a track record for being a tattooed and looking like one.
Lucas, you're unbeaten. In the real world, in the big world, is he the best fighter you've ever faced?
No, I'm nothing.
No.
I'm nothing.
No. He's up there.
I'm nothing.
He's not the best.
I'm nothing.
Who would you say was?
I'd put Shigeru better.
Yeah,
I would put Shigeru better. I think he'd lose against Shigeru.
I'm the worst fighter you've ever fought. To be honest, I'm the worst fighter you've ever fought. I'm just.
Where would you put him amongst the fighters you fought?
Probably somewhere in the top 10 best fighters I fought, maybe. Somewhere in the lower end. He's only in boxing because he's a big, strong guy. That's the only reason why. Is because he fight a lot of small guys, he hit them a couple of times, they get scared and they start panicking and it's just, like he himself said, he's a bully and he's an enforcer. That's what he does, he bullies them and enforces size on them and the guys just think, but like, size means nothing for me. My own brother is 6'7". Me and him been tussling for years. Me and him have day-to-day fights where we fight. Where me and him have an argument, we drive him in the car, we have an argument, and I'm like, all right, let's pull over and deal with this.
With your brother?
Yeah, we have a 2-minute fight, then we get back in the car and just drive on.
That's like Dumber and Dumber.
No, it's not like Dumber and Dumber. It's just, in my family, we don't like holding grudges. It's simple. It's like, it's simple. It's like, if you have a problem with me and I have a problem with you, we talk it out. If we can't talk it out, we duke it out. And then that's the end of it. And we move on. Simple as that.
What's his weakness?
His biggest weakness is he's underestimating me. He ain't got great defense. And he just looks for power punches. That's what he looks for all the time.
What's his weakness?
As I said, the emotional side of things. That's his weakness.
That's his only weakness?
He's a good boxer. I wouldn't say he's a great boxer, but he's a good boxer.
I better go and see a shrink then to start helping me with my emotional side from now.
So
you know
is-
any good shrink, Johnny?
Dude, mentally, that's more than the physical side of things with boxing.
No,
if you're not mentally right,
that's why you see a shrink, because a shrink deals with the mind. A shrink doesn't deal with the physical.
So this is the biggest fight in the UK for you. How are you going to deal with that kind of pressure, that kind of attention?
there's no pressure. This is great. This is what I'm in boxing for. After we had the press conference, I stayed there for 2 hours doing interviews. You know, this is great. This is awesome for me. I really like it. They're coming over here. I get much more attention than I do in Australia because it's not the same in Australia as it is here.
Isn't it for money and a bit of fame? That's what Lucas is in it for.
For my
And
kids,
I
man.
respect
For
him.
my
I
kids,
respect him. He's got kids. He wants to feed his kids. I respect that because I have kids too. But I don't like some of the things he's done and some of the things he said.
Do you think there may be a mistake, whereas if you go in there, stand there toe-to-toe with this man who's a big puncher, who's a big unit, that's exactly what I want you to do?
I'm not scared to be punched in the face. You know, my face is not too messed up, but I've taken a few whacks over the years. So for me to get in punched in the face, it's boxing. You don't, your coach teaches you not to get hit this and that. But I'm not scared to get punched in the face.
Talk me through the fight on the night.
Obviously, I think it all starts with our jabs. Like, that's boxing, you know what I mean? We'll start with our jabs and try and work out some sort of range and things like that. I think the first person that works out the proper range and distance will start landing the proper punches, and it goes from there. I can't give a script because you never know what's going to happen. But I think it's definitely going to, the first 1-2 rounds might come out and we'll sort of judge each other, you know what I mean? But from 3 onwards, it's party time.
Dylan?
I'm coming to fight, not emotionally charged, but I'm going to put in a solid performance. At the end of the day, you said a lot of stuff. When people say stuff about me, I want them to say it to my face. I want to look in your eyes and for you to say to me, whatever I said to you online, I'll say it to your face. That's me.
Yep.
So you said all of this, you called me this, you called me that. You said you was going to punch me in the face if I got in your face and this, that and the other. You're in my town. If you punch me in the face outside the ring, the biggest mistake you ever make.
All right,
I'll deal with you myself.
that's fine.
I'll deal with you myself.
Why would I be stupid enough to do that?
There you go, you're a smart man.
Boys,
Yeah,
you
you
know
might be a
what?
tattooed but there's a brain in there somewhere.
Let's find out on the night.
Sweet.
Nice one, boys.
Cheers.
Thank you, sir.
Nice one.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.